What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Angel Fernandez, Anthony Joshua, and Oleksandr Usyk. Get this. According to Angel Fernandez, Fernandez says that Joshua will definitely beat Usyk in a third fight. Angel Fernandez is optimistic that Anthony Joshua will bounce back from one of the toughest losses of his career. In fact, the trainer of the former heavyweight champion from London is certain that Joshua will definitely defeat Oleksandr Usyk if they ever get in the ring again. Joshua is coming off a hard-fought split decision loss to Ukraine's Usyk, the WBO, WBA, and IBF heavyweight champion last month in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Usyk won his 3 belts from Joshua in their first meeting, also on points last September at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. And this is what he had to say. He said, if there's a third fight against Usyk, he will definitely beat him, Fernandez said. He said, I think he's starting to understand a lot more things. We just have to focus on ourselves, rebuild AJ, and hopefully down the line, the end of the year, we get to see a Fury AJ, or God knows, we might even get to see another Usyk fight. We might see another fight against Andy Ruiz. So there are great fights out there for Anthony Joshua. Let me counterpunch. I think Joshua learns certain things. I think that Joshua's learned some things about Oleksandr Usyk, but I don't think the things that he learned was enough to beat him. And what he should have learned, more importantly, is more volume. He should have learned to throw more. That means he should have been in better condition, if there's a such thing. And I think with looking at Joshua, I don't think it's his conditioning. I think it's his body mass. He won't be able to do what he needs to do to beat Usyk unless he loses the body mass. All that muscle will wear you down. It's like armor. It's strength. It's armor. But it could go against you carrying it around. It could go against your heart. It could go against your stamina. It can go against your endurance. It can go against a lot of things that you will need later on, especially throwing the punches that you need. You don't need big, huge muscles. When you see Anthony Joshua throw these muscles, you can tell, like, dude, it's a lot of weight behind them. And I think in his knowledge, it's like, okay, I have these big-ass arms so I can swing and hit people with these big-ass arms. And these big-ass arms are attached to big-ass fists. And these big-ass fists can knock people out. Sure, I get it. But 8-9 rounds, you're tired because you have invested in weightlifting and these type of things to get power. But that power now is going against you because now that fighter is still there that you're trying to, or you thought that was going to be gone, but he's not. Now what do? You try your best to survive because you don't have anything left. Because at the consequence of having big muscles, you have to now carry them. You now have to carry the weight of those muscles. It's like holding 2 big, large axes in your hand. Now you're tired of swinging on them because you've had them. But it's not like an axe because now it's a part of you. So Anthony Joshua's going to have to learn how to come in lighter. He has to learn he has to learn how to up the work rate. That's going to be up to really how much motivation or how much dog he has in him. He has to be vicious. He has to be like a young Mike, if that's a such thing. You know what I mean? Mike had that devastating knockout power, but he also had a work rate, though. He had a way of getting that power to that opponent. Okay, so with them saying, oh, well, I think he'll beat Usyk in a third fight, you have to keep in mind Usyk's like 35. He'll be 36 soon. And, if he beats Usyk, it won't be because he was the better fighter. It would be because if he stopped him or knocked him out, or Usyk started to weather because of his age. But him fighting a third fight, they need time to rebuild, and we can get. So where does he have time to rebuild when you're taking him right back into a possible Tyson Fury fight. So I don't really get everyone, him, Robert Garcia, they're all on the same track, and they all believe the same thing. They're just not doing anything because they know there's so much money and there's so many different people and hands invested in Anthony Joshua. So they don't give a shit if he improves or not, as long as they get his ass back out there and make this money. Because when Anthony Joshua fights, he makes a lot of people millionaires in the process. Okay? So I think that's the problem with AJ, because AJ, is a brand and he's responsible for a lot of people, but then it's some kinks in his armor that he's going to have to improve. But do I think, can he beat Usyk in a third fight? I've seen everything I need to see. Third fights are like, okay, you have to warrant a third fight. And the only way he warrants a third fight is he redeems himself. How is he going to do that? He starts getting some wins. And most importantly, he beats someone significant, like Tyson Fury. Then maybe I could stomach another fight between him and Usyk. But Usyk is no Fury. And Fury is no Usyk. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Angel Fernandez saying that he will certainly beat, or Joshua will certainly beat Oleksandr Usyk in a third fight. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!